Hello students, let's start our class. Today we are going to discuss a new chapter from your democratic politics. The name of the chapter is Working of Institution. In a democracy, the rulers have to follow some rules and procedures. They have to work within institutions. In this process, they come across the institutions that play a key role in major decisions. These institutions are legislature, executive, and judiciary. In this chapter, we will understand how all the institutions together carry on the work of the government. Process of taking a major policy decision. A major policy decision is taken through a government order. To know the process of taking a major policy decision, it is important to know about government order and its issuing. A government order. Issuing of government order. A government order is a written direction on an issue signed by a government authority. That is, on 13 August 1990, the Government of India issued an order. It was called an Office Memorandum. It had a specific number. It was signed by the Joint Secretary, who is an officer in the Department of Personnel and Training in the Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievances and Pensions. Decision announced by an order. The order announced a major policy decision. According to the order, 27% of the vacancies in civil posts and services of government were reserved for SCBC, that is, socially and educationally backward classes. Earlier, benefit of job reservation was available to scheduled caste, SC, and scheduled tribes, STs. Now the third category, SCBC, was also eligible for quota of 27%. Controversy over the order. The issuing order led to the country-wide protest. Some of the protests were violent. As a result, the issue became the most debated in the media with the different views and opinions. The people reacted strongly because this decision affected thousands of job opportunities. Appeal to stop implementation of order. Some person and association filed a number of cases in courts against the order. They appealed to declare the order invalid and stop its implementation. The case came to be known as the Indira Swahani and other versus Union of India case. Supreme Court's declaration over the order by majority. The Supreme Court in 1992 declared the order valid. It also asked the government to identify its original order. Modifications in order and end of dispute. The order was modified and declared that well-to-do persons of backward classes should be excluded from the benefit of reservation. On 8 September 1993, another memorandum was issued by the Department of Personnel Training. Since then, the dispute ended and the same policy was followed. Main events before the passing of government order. The main events before the passing of government order for OBC reservations were as follows. The Government of India had appointed the Second Backward Classes Commission in 1979. It was headed by B.P. Mandal, hence it was popularly called the Mandal Commission. The commission gave its report in 1980 and made many recommendations. One of these was that 27% of government jobs be reserved for the socially and economically backward classes. For several years, many parliamentarians and parties kept. Then came the Lok Sabha election of 1989, and its election manifesto, the Janata Dal promised that if voted to power, it would implement the Mandal Commission report. The Janata Dal did form the government after this election. Its leader VP Singh became the Prime Minister and he implemented it. The decision makers. The major decision involves some major functionaries in our country. These are President. He is the head of the state and is the highest formal authority in the country. Prime Minister. He is the head of the government and actually exercises all governmental powers. He takes most of the decisions in the cabinet meetings. Parliaments. It consists of the presidents and two houses, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. The Lok Sabha or the lower house is composed of the elected representatives of the people. The Rajya Sabha or upper house represents the interest of the state and union territories. The Prime Minister must have the support of a majority of Lok Sabha members. In our country, all the major decisions are taken by the Council of Ministers in the cabinet meeting headed by the Prime Minister. After that, the decisions are discussed in Parliament, and after the approval of Parliament, generally it approved by the majority and members of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. It is sent to President for final approval. Once the decision is approved by the President, it is ready to be implemented and issued by the concerned government authority as government order. How to oppose government decisions? If some people or association are not satisfied by government order and there is a dispute regarding government order, then they can file the cases in the Supreme Courts or in High Court. For example, some persons and association filed a case in the Supreme Court against the Government of India decision of 27% of reservation for socially and educationally backward classes in civil posts and services. This case was known as Indira Sahani and others versus Union of India case. Dear students, let's recap the portions. In a democracy, the rulers have to follow some rules and procedures. They have to work with and within the institutions. In this process, they come across three institutions that play a key role in major decisions. These institutions are legislature, executive, and judiciary. In this chapter, we will understand how all the institutions together carry on the work of the government. We have discussed how is a major policy decision taken. Then we have discussed the decision makers. We also discussed how to oppose government decision. Thank you, students. Have a nice day ahead.